What is happening, everybody? My name is Kolu, aka Cakes from NSqT, and today we are taking you out on one of our previous photo shoots that we did. I shot the GoPro to my chest, just let it film for as long as we were out there, and just snapped away, several pictures. So we're gonna show you guys those in this video. Hopefully you like them. Let us know. Mark, hit the B-roll. Alright, so for this video, we were walking salt at our Kakaako and the surrounding streets trying to find some interesting shots, subjects, and frames. This spot has some interesting buildings, colors, and murals all over the area. So even if there wasn't a subject for a photo, I could still get a bit of the landscape and art pieces that are in abundance here. So I knew from the get-go that I wanted to utilize this little alleyway here and try to catch someone walking past and frame them right as they hit the center. It took a pretty long time for someone to actually walk through, but eventually someone did, and I got this. Now, if the car wasn't there at the opening, I would be able to catch a little bit more light so I could silhouette the subject as they were walking past a little bit more, but I'll take what I can get. Also, if you're in a pinch, having a walking buddy that's more than willing to be your subject helps as well, so Mark here will be featured in a handful of photos in this video. We're headed out of Salt now to walk the block and the surrounding streets, but before we head out, I wanted to get this shot of the Salt sign. I did end up flipping the image here so that right from the get-go, your eyes focus and go straight to that sign. I think it really helps with the image a little bit, and the framing here is pretty good as well. Immediately after that, I spot this lamppost with a whole bunch of stickers slapped on it, and I love finding stickers as I walk and try to incorporate the surroundings with it to give the photo a bit more depth, I guess. I had a bit of a hard time getting the composure just right for this, but eventually got something that I felt worked out. And in the same spot, I saw this woman sitting a bit down the sidewalk that I wanted to try and get a photo of because I liked the composition of the entire area and how it looked. I still had a bit of a struggle getting the right framing and whatnot, but I was also trying to wait for a break in between people walking past to try and isolate her a little bit more in the image. In the end, I wish I would have been a bit more level with her in the shot, but learn from your mistakes and you can only get better, right? Another establishing shot of the area here. Like I said, Kakaako is known for having murals all over the place, so I tried to find a composition and framing that worked. I definitely could find other ways to frame this in the future and give it a little bit more depth to the photo, but this is what I got for this, and it's still a pretty kill shot. Nothing super spectacular for this next one, just a simple shot of the buildings because I really like the colors of it and how the light was hitting it right at that time. Now, I really love this next shot coming up. It took me a few times to get it right because I was actively trying to avoid getting hit by cars, but ultimately I love how it came out, making use of some of the leading lines on the pavement to point at the building in the distance. I wish I had a little bit more compression on it to kind of get everything kind of bunched up and closer together, but overall I really love how this came out. It was at this point that my GoPro started to act up, and what I mean by that is I actually forgot to press record, so I don't have the footage leading up to the shot, but it's another establishing shot. I really like how this one turned out. The composition is pretty good for me personally. It frames up the building nice and tight with a good emphasis on the main subject, which is a woman's face. The mural is amazing as well. The eyes are really just pulling you into that image. I had Mark be my fill-in subject for this shot again. This wall is extremely green, and the sun hitting it directly at that point just makes the colors even more vibrant, so I actually prefer the black and white edit for this since there's already a lot going on in this image. Trying to avoid cars again for this shot looking down the street. I've got bracketing turned on at this point so I can try and expose from multiple areas in the image. I'm still fairly new at using bracketing and working with HDR images, but since learning about it and trying to utilize it more, it's helped tremendously. I like the colors here and how the sun is hitting the building in the background. I think for the next time though, what I would do differently is I'd adjust my composure a bit more to the right. I think I was trying to use the road markings as leading lines again, but it didn't work very well for this image. So it feels a little unbalanced to me. I love the colors, but I need to work on that composition. This next photo is definitely my favorite image for this shoot. Got a nice and wide shot of the area, catching a wall of murals on the left, the building across from that with shadows being cast on it nice and harsh, buildings in the backdrop. Lighting was amazing. I love the colors and the tone of everything here. It really came out beautifully, and it's definitely a color break that I'll use for my good old Instagram feed. Now, I don't have a shot in this little bit, but after watching the video back, I see the reflection in the window of the buildings here on both sides, which I didn't initially notice, but now that I've seen it, I want to go back and try to work a reflection shot here. Anyway, random added in rant. This shot here is really nothing special. I just like the kind of pervy eyes the sticker is giving Mark, so I just wanted to add this in for shits and giggles. Last bunch of shots for this video, and it's another establishing shot of the area. I framed this just all wrong. I would maybe try and get a slightly higher vantage point the next time so I can get the buildings as well as the whole street light instead of cutting it off at the top. But I include it because I want to try and remember to get intersecting street signs in all of my shoots going forward to very much establish where we are for that shoot. From across the street, I see this gentleman on his phone waiting for the bus, and he's perfectly framed in the arch of the building, whatever it's called. So I try and get a quick shot of that. Luckily, I caught it right before his bus arrived, and while he's getting on, I also get a shot of the bus driver, framed up for a quick shot as well. And the last photo to round off tonight is one final establishing shot of the 680 building. If we got to this point just a little earlier, the light on the building would have been a bit better, giving the image a little more life, but I still really love all the colors here, and that's where I really like shooting in the area. So that's it for this video. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching. I had a lot of fun doing this. I want to try to keep it going and try to do a few more down the line. If you have any tips or suggestions for helping me improve my photography, let me know in the comments below. Follow me at colorswipe.cakes to see all the images from this video and more from this session. Also follow NSqT's Instagram at Nerds of the Square, and be sure to check out our podcast every Monday on Anchor FM, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts at NSqT Talks. Woo, that was a mouthful. All the links are in the description below. I don't really have a catchy outro right now, so stress less, shoot more, share the aloha. Cool. We good?